It's Millsap in the morning on Lebanon Now as we get started on a gorgeous day outside. It's going to be a great day. It's supposed to be up in the 70s. It's 55 degrees in Lebanon. And we're in the beautiful Ozark Fiber Studios in downtown Lebanon. Here in Lebanon, we believe local matters, and that includes your internet. Ozark Fiber is a Missouri-based company bringing high-speed fiber internet to our community. That means faster speeds, reliable connections, and support from people who actually live and work right here. Experience the difference with Ozark Fiber. Check your availability at ozarkfiber.com. Hey, we've got a great show on hand. I mean, a great show because we've got the mayor here with us, Jared Carr. Boy, the pressure's on now because it's got to be a great show.
A great show, right?
I've known the mayor for a long time, and I actually are knowing each other probably all the way back when he was in high school, but more recently over the years has been in the broadcast booth up in Jacket Stadium on Friday nights because you help run the sound and the video. How long have you been doing that?
Well, I think we got that board in 12. And since then, and actually, me and Justin Shadle have been doing that since Coach Christian's been here since 2005. We've been up there, so
a long time. Boy, a long time up there, and
not as long as you though. Not as long. We're going for that record, but we still got a little ways to go.
You just got a long ways to go. But we have a lot of fun on Friday nights, and I think it's you did this long before obviously you became mayor, but you've kept that up, and I think that says a lot that you spend your Friday nights up there helping entertain. And there's nothing like Friday night in the fall in Lebanon, is there?
I'm not going to lie, it's kind of selfish because that's the best seat in the house, right on the 50-yard line, elevated, can see the whole field. So it's self-serving in itself too, but it is truly awesome to watch and be a part of the team behind the scenes. Get to see it all kind of come to light, and then obviously Friday nights in fall are awesome in Lebanon. So
hey, and it's a free seat.
That's right, yeah.
And we're going to talk about more free seats here on this show. So we're going to have a lot of fun as we talk to the mayor. Attention, Lebanon and Leclerc County. Join us on Monday, May 18th. At 9 a.m. for the Wallace Building in Lebanon for the Missouri War Medallions Recognition Ceremony. This special event honors the brave veterans of Missouri as they receive medals recognizing their service and sacrifice to our country. We're honored to welcome guest speaker Brigadier General Bradley Leonard, Assistant Division Commander of the 35th Infantry Division. That would be Infantry Division. Family, friends, and community members are encouraged to come out and show their support for the men and women who served. Presented by Vet Talk on Lebanon Now and the AUSA. This is a powerful morning of honor, gratitude, and remembrance. May 18th, 9 a.m. at the Wallace Building in Lebanon. Come stand for our vets. Let's do this. A little bit of news around the area. The Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce packed Cowan Civic Center last week with their annual Chamber Dinner. The Chamber honored several businesses during the event, including Infused Credit Union with the President's Award, Cackle Hatchery with the Legacy Award, Carmen's with the Emerging Business Award, Project 360 Youth Services with the People's Choice Award, and Lane Change took home the Impact of the Year Award. And Bruce Owens from the Lebanon Leclerc County Route 66 Society took home the Citizen of the Year Award. Ryan Miles has been appointed as by the Leclerc County Commission as the new director of the Leclerc County 911 Department. Miles is a former dispatcher at Leclerc County and Pulaski County and takes over for James Falls, who's leaving on May 15th. A joint resolution was passed by the Missouri General Assembly yesterday to eliminate the Missouri income tax. Voters will get a chance to decide in the November general election whether to gradually eliminate the state's 4.7% income tax, expand the sales tax on goods and services to try to make up for the difference. Area high school baseball yesterday saw the Stoutland Tigers falling to Vienna 11-1. The Tigers are now 7-8 on the year. They'll play state-ranked Licking on Thursday afternoon in Stoutland. The Lebanon Yellow Jackets got their 6th win of the season with a 17-2 win over Central yesterday. The Jackets will be at home with Ozark in a COC matchup on Thursday. Gainesville beat Conway 2-1, and the Bears dropped to 7-8 on the year. Iberia beat Richland 11-0. The Bears are now 6-6 on the year. The Lebanon Yellow Jackets tennis team improved to 12-4 with a 9-0 win over New Covenant Academy. The Cardinals beat the Marlins 5-3. The Royals snapped their 8-game losing streak 6-5 win over Baltimore. Partly sunny today and a high in the mid-70s. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour, gust up to 20 miles per hour tonight. Lows in the upper 50s. It's 55 in Lebanon. Millsap in the mid-morning, and Mayor Jared Carr is our guest when we come back right after this. Memorial Day weekend is the perfect time to keep the kids entertained, and Scott Event Rentals has a hot deal for you that you need to know about. From May 22nd through May 25th, you can get the full weekend for the price of just one day plus $100. That means 3 full days of fun with bounce houses, water slides, inflatable attractions with the whole family. They'll just love it. Drop-off is on Friday, May 22nd. Pickup is Monday, May 25th. So you can enjoy the entire holiday weekend without stress. Availability is limited, so now is the time to lock in your rental before the best inflatables are gone. Call or text Scott Event Rentals today at 417-718-4990. That's 417-718-4990, or book now at scottrentals.com. You know, you just look like you'd be you would be a guy that would get an inflatable, wouldn't you?
I have done that before, and I think I heard afterwards. To be honest, I think that was I don't know, some event over there at the Civic Center or the fairgrounds, and it was several years ago, so I can't imagine now what I would feel like afterwards. But I was hurting.
I'm not sure that there's an inflatable that can hold me now, but there might be.
I think the pump was smoking after I got off of it.
So you became mayor in 2017. You brought a lot of valuable experience to the city of Lebanon, and I'm going to brag on you a little bit, and I don't want this to go to your head, but you know, in my lifetime in Lebanon, and I've watched a lot of politics and a lot of mayors come and go, what you've done since 2017 has just been amazing in the position of mayor. This city is just, under your tutelage, it's just really come alive.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, and I'm the first to say I don't take all the credit, and it's all of us working together. And really, what I've done since day one is listen to the community, listen to what they want, listen to the citizens of Lebanon. And they're more than happy to put their input in all the time, and that's appreciated. And then myself and council, I say us, but myself and council really all work together, building goals, building a structure of here's their goals, and then really the team, the City of Lebanon team, the staff at City Hall, the staff at Public Works, takes all them goals and they run with them every single day, and they do a fantastic job of that, and have since 2017. So
your family's been in business in this community a long time. You're the chief financial officer at Carr. How long has Carr been around Lebanon?
56 years. We're in our 56th years, and my grandpa started in 1970.
So I want to talk a little bit about that, because I think it's interesting that in some ways, Jared, you kind of, by the way, I'm going to call you Jared and not Mayor, because that's what I'm used to.
That's fine. I'm still getting used to the whole people, Mayor, call me that. So.
You know, it's interesting because I had somebody one time, I was at some event back when I was sheriff, and I was walking through the event with somebody, and people were going, "Hi, Sheriff, hi, Sheriff, hi, Sheriff," and somebody would say, "Hi, David." And somebody said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "That's the people that I really," because those are the people that I know. Mm-hmm. And so they're, I always got a kick out of the people that didn't call me Sheriff, because it was people that I've known all my life, and they're looking at me going, "That's just David."
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Yep, same exact way. Yep.
But you kind of backed into this politics stuff, and I know your family's been active in politics for a long time, especially at the local level, but also at the state level. But when you got the job as mayor, and you bring that business experience into government, what were you shocked about how government worked?
How extremely slow it seems to be. In the business world, we can say, let's go this way, and then we go, or we do it, or hey, let's build this, or let's create this, and you can make it happen. Just go. That's not the case in city politics or in government, I guess I should say. Is there's a whole process behind it. So the whole time when I first got into office, it was like, let's go, let's do this, and then it kind of, oh wait, we have to run it through this, we have to run it through that. All the red tape, I guess I should say, and really, working through that process was a real struggle for me initially. But I think that helped too, because it slowed me down to realize, hey, we need to set up a plan. We need to set up a process or goals, a situated place, and I always talk about that to all the groups that I ever talk to, is really go back to those goals and want to. So once we got those formulated, okay, now we know how that goes, and I think it flows a lot better now than it did in 17 or 18. So
I think it's hard, and I spent most of my life in public service, and if I went to business, I'd probably get caught up in, man, they move too fast here instead of slowing down. But I think that a lot of times that we're better off as in politics or in government, I'll say in government, is to have somebody come from the private sector, especially the business side of things, to come in and go, there are some better ways to do things. And have you been able to kind of bring that to the city and go, this is how we operate in private business, and we've been successful in my business for 56 years.
Yeah, I mean, some of that, like I said, the goal process and bringing those goals up, same thing in the business. I mean, we really focus on setting those yearly goals or annual goals or even monthly goals of, this is how we want to perform, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to grow, or what kind of customers we want to have. Same kind of thing that I did bring that to government, or I feel like I did, is bring it to that, okay, now let's see what we want to have. And one of the first things we did, and got in office in September of 17, and then in that April in 18 was hire a city administrator, get a professional person in there to actually run the day-to-day. And then on top of that, at the same time, we went out to the citizens and said, hey, what do you guys want to see? Did a survey, got that back, and then immediately turned that into the process of, let's build our budget, let's build all these processes to build what people want to see in the community.
And that city manager position is so important, and you've been really not lucky, but diligent in making sure the last two city managers have been really good.
Absolutely. Mike Shoemaker was the first one, and Troy Schulte is current, and both of them are great. Kansas City natives, they're Royals fans, so I know
that's a little rough.
I know it's rough for us, right? But nonetheless, they do a great job, and their heart's in the right spot. They want to do the right things for the community, and then are willing to listen and take direction from us in council, or me in council, I guess I should say, and really work towards building what Lebanon wants to see.
I would think it'd be that you have to have that ability to sit down with that city manager and talk about your vision, your goals, and then to listen to him. And when he says, you can't do it that way, mm-hmm. or I see what you're talking about, and we can implement that and get that team on board. And I think the other thing is that and especially Troy Schulte, it seems like, is that the team around you, the city employees, have bought into these visions.
Absolutely, and it really takes that, and we have talked about that, and both Mike and Troy, both with me and working together, have really focused on that, the team, and we were one team. We were one team together. We worked together and I'm talking about all the employees of the city, and working towards those goals is what we want and what needs to happen in order for everything to flow and everything to work together.
Tell me, as you get through this term, and what is your vision right now for Lebanon?
I think to continue to grow and prosper. I think we've been very fortunate with what businesses have come here in town, and as we expand some residential areas, as we expand to commercial and our industrial base here in the community, really, focused on that and continue that momentum going forward. I know we just got done with our comprehensive plan 2040, Project 2040 last year, and so that was about a year and a half process. Took a long time. I remember about 3 years ago, me and Mike were having one of those conversations, and it was like, let's do this comprehensive plan. We haven't done one since the early 2000s, I believe, and let's do a comprehensive plan so we can really set this up for success. And somebody in the future can come in, sit in my seat, and just grab a hold of the book and start doing things that the community wants to see from community input, and then also continue to grow. And with that in mind, really formulated this plan, and we're already picking stuff out of there right now that pulls strictly from that plan into what we're doing today.
I want to talk about growth because growth is interesting to me because when we were doing the interviews of city council candidates a few weeks ago, prior to the election, almost all of them talked about growth. And how much growth do you need? I think the city grows on average, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, about 2 to 3% a year. When does it become too much growth or not enough growth? How do you judge how big you really want to be?
I don't know. I guess the citizens would tell us, "Hey, stop."
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't know what that would go to, or what that level is. I really don't see a limit. I think I want to make it, to make the community successful. You want to still. I think we want to be large enough to have some of the amenities that people have asked for, or be attractive enough to bring those places in. And then at the same time, keep our small town feel. I think that's very important to people here in the community to want that and to keep that alive. That I had growing up here, and I'm sure you had as well growing up here. That small town where you could walk down the street and call you David, not Sheriff, because that's who you are. Right. And the same thing with me. So I really think that's kind of a balancing act, but I don't know where that would plateau at, or where it would get too big or too,
Yeah, and I think it's such an interesting question, and I think you hit it just right, is that it's not the growth of population. It's not the growth of how many business or manufacturing plants you have here. It's do you still keep that feel that Lebanon has, and you have to have this growth. And I can remember the explosion of the 1980s here in Lebanon, and then it seemed to plateau, and then all of a sudden now we're starting to see this again. And I think if you're people like me and you go, well, I don't want to lose that small town part of this, you have to be careful of that, or it becomes a ghost town.
Yes, I think so, and it can all of a sudden implode on you to where you do, and then you don't have that identity. But I think that's part of what has made Lebanon is the fact that we do have some identity, and we build on that, and I think we continue to do that. And I remember I was a small kid in the 80s, whenever that was all going on, but I do remember that. I remember people talking and listening to the grown-ups and that kind of stuff, and them talking about, over coffee or whatever kind of dinner, talking about the conversations of bringing this factory or this commercial place into town. And so maybe that was instilled somewhere in my brain at that age to do the same thing and carry on that legacy of Lebanon kind of always growing and always kind of molding itself, but at the same time keeping that small town charm. It's
interesting. In the 1940s, Lebanon was known as Boomtown because of the explosion after the war. That Lebanon really kind of exploded, and we saw a lot of development in Lebanon. I wasn't around then. I was just knowing just some Lebanon history, but so I just again. I look at downtown and what has happened over the last almost now 10 years downtown, and certainly since 2017. You've got to be really proud of the way the things look downtown.
Yeah, it's totally transformative. And there again, I remember whenever I was a kid being downtown and it, thriving and going. And then as I got into high school, it kind of went away and just there wasn't much going on. And I mean, there were still businesses down there, but it just not a whole lot of momentum or anything like that. And I really attribute it to the community. There's only so much that I can do as mayor or even as an individual is, here's a plan, or let's create a plan. Let's get a few people together and let's create it together. And they really have, the downtown board has just ran with it. And they do a fantastic job of building community inside of a community, if that makes sense, with the downtown and bringing those businesses. And then it took a long time to get that momentum going. And I think we got tremendous momentum right now in the downtown area, like you said.
during your tenure, at one point, unemployment prior to COVID was right around 2%. And by the way, when you have 2% unemployment, that means everybody that wants to be employed is employed, and all employable people. Now, there's 2% of the population is unemployable, and people forget that. And actually, it's a little bit larger than that. But then COVID hit and some unemployment issues. I think the latest numbers are around almost 4%, a little less than 4%. Statewide, I'd assume Lebanon's pretty close to that. Are you pretty happy with employment rates in Lebanon right now?
Historically, that's a really low rate.
Right.
And I don't pay attention to it a whole lot. Now I do, that's not like the number one metric I guess I would look at. But as far as what, knowing that number's 4%, 2%, like you said, is about the minimum that you could ever go to. It's certainly something that's commendable to, and I give it to the community of wanting to, as we do expand, that certainly helps out with job growth, and jobs really drive the economy inside the community. And so I'd be silly to say that unemployment's not important, but certainly historically low, and I think it has been for several years now. I can remember when it was 7, 8, 9, 10%, and then like 08, it might even been 20%, or it got really high then. So certainly is nice to see, and that really continues to grow. But as we bring more people in, that's what we're able to fill them jobs with increasing the industrial base, commercial base, and people moving into the community being able to find jobs as well. So
let's talk a little bit about commercial growth, because on the south side of town, I was coming in today for the show, and the building that's going on across from Walmart, I think the Southdale Center area, seeing a lot of construction there. What's on the horizon? Give us a little secret. Give us behind the scenes what you're doing. I know you're doing something, and what's coming to town.
Really, and this is one of those things. I don't know how many times I've been asked if, and Brian, I'm sorry because they don't give us a sponsor to the show either, but I'm going to mention Chick-fil-A. But I don't know how many times. Can you get a Chick-fil-A? Well, the city doesn't really bring a business to the community. I wish we could, I guess, maybe, but I really don't want my government to own a business, if that makes sense, as well. But I get that all the time. Bring a Chick-fil-A, bring this, bring that, bring that. And all we can really do is put Lebanon in a position to make us attractive to those entities, to those places. And I think that's what we've done. Now we can do certain things like with incentives or utility hookups, owning our own utilities. That really helps, and that can foster some of that, or offset, I guess I should say, some of that expense that a contractor or that a developer may experience as he comes into town. But that, and then put us in that position. We do talk to people through the Regional Economic Development Corporation, READY. They do a great job, and we do promote us. Hey, we got this, we have this land, we have this piece of property that would be ideal for commercial development, or it's primed, it's ready to go. All you got to do is build a building on it. So we do advertise that kind of stuff and bring people in, and then incentivize them through some discounted utility, not rates, but utility hookups, or through permitting or something like that. Make it easier for them, those kind of things, and then, or maybe even build infrastructure around it, whether it be roads or any kind of thing like that, to help foster that growth. And so you can only put yourself in those positions, and then once you're there, then the kind of the dominoes kind of fall in place, which is really what you've seen in the last 2-3 years, really, that the domino effect. Now, most of that was all put in place in 18 or 19. COVID really messed some stuff up. So it kind of delayed everything 2 or 3 years, but really, it was all put, myself and council all got on board and wanted that to happen back then, and it just took that long. It takes a long time there again to get those going, and then the dominoes kind of fall in place, and you start seeing the growth.
Mayor Jared Carr is visiting with us on Millsap in the Morning. Don't forget, you can like and share the show both on YouTube and Facebook, and you can drop a comment inside and we'll look at your comment, and if I really like it, I'll read it. No, if you put it in there, we'll take a look at it. Hey, time's going to get away because I can sit here and visit with you all day about the growth of this city and the way things look and the things that you're doing. And we can talk about blighted properties because I think you've done a great job over the last year in dealing with that issue, and that was a major issue in the public. But you're doing something in those areas where we had property that really was blighted, didn't give us a good face, and some of those things are being taken care of.
Yeah, and there again, it's a fine line between government overreach or government steps, and then the property owner having their due process of being able to, and a lot of people have, worked with us and through our codes administration and worked with us and actually restored their buildings without having to do anything drastic or anything. But some of that times the property owner's just not going to do it or just can't afford to do anything like that, and so you do have to do certain steps to where maybe you have to demolish it, but the community has really stepped behind that. Developers have really stepped behind infilling that spot into a new place, and then you see through things like Level Up Lebanon, a whole community coming up, or a whole area going in and really cleaning up an area. And then as you drive around, it's amazing to see, this guy cleans it up, and then I better do it, and then I better do it, and really turning it into the neighborhoods really taking pride in their neighborhood.
I want to get to a couple of things that are happening in the community. Diamond Rio is coming to town, and tell me about that.
So this Saturday, April 25th, awesome event. It's going to kick off our America 250th anniversary celebration that we're having here in Lebanon. Don't know if you've seen the banners all around town, and so happy to do that. And just honored to be mayor while that's happening too. I mean, that's going to be really cool. But our kickoff event is Saturday night, Diamond Rio, the Diamond Rio. I mean, not just a cover band or anything like that. It's the Diamond Rio coming to Lebanon, to the Civic Center. Looking forward to that. It's a free event. So,
and it's in the big facility.
Yeah,
so
big
there was some talk that it was going to be in the theater, but it's not. So
it's in the exhibition hall.
5,000 people.
Yeah. First 5,000 people. We have 5,000 tickets printed. You'll get those as you come into the door, and we're looking forward to a great night. We're going to kick it off. The doors open at 5:00. And at 6:00, the LHS choir and the band are going to perform, and then we have a short video as well about the history of Lebanon that we're going to display. And then at 7:00, Diamond Rio will start.
And that's not the only event to celebrate 250 years of the United States of America. You're going to have a big hot dog roast.
Yeah, we're having a big downtown picnic right here. In our beautiful downtown, we're going to have a giant picnic. What's more American than a giant picnic with hot dogs? And there again, those will be free hot dogs and chips. And we got civic clubs and organizations cooking all that for us behind the scenes. We're going to have a concert downtown, and all the merchants are getting on board. It's also his first Friday event, and the date on that is July 3rd. And so we're looking forward to a full evening of fun for that. And that's going to be a great night.
How many hot dogs have you ordered?
We have... We're planning on getting one for every citizen of Lebanon. So I think there's going to be 15,563 is our estimate right now. So that's what we're going for, is a hot dog for every person in Lebanon.
So and I live out in the county. So if you're not going to attend, if you'll let me know so I can have your free hot dog.
Yeah.
I can come in and have a free hot dog.
Yeah.
And that's on July 3rd.
Yeah, July 3rd. And then the next day, July 4th, we're going to have a giant firework tailgate party at the airport. And we're going to have food trucks out there. There'll be music, all kinds of stuff. We'll come out to the airport, park out there. And I think the gates are going to open about 5. Fireworks will go off about 9:30 on that. And when it gets dark. And we're going to have about a 35 minute fireworks show that they have told me that it'll certainly be memorable.
And Lebanon Now is going to be a part of all of that, by the way. They'll be at the they can come watch me eat a hot dog and watch the fireworks, do all that. We're going to come back with the mayor and have some fun with him when we come back with Millsap in the morning right after this.
Millsap in the morning. Millsap's on the town's awake.
Build your legacy right here in Lebanon with Legacy Homes. Now building in Legacy Trails, Legacy Homes is offering new construction in one of its best connected locations in town with 134 lots available, 10 home design options, pricing starting just at $250,000. This is your chance to build a home around your future. Located in Lebanon School District, close to city amenities, Legacy Trails offers park access, walking trails, quick trips to the Lake of the Ozarks and Bennett Springs. Every home is built with quality in mind, featuring zip system seating, insulated garage doors, finished garage walls, LED lighting, luxury vinyl plank flooring, and custom soft closed cabinet options. Legacy Homes has been building quality homes since 2003 with craftsmanship designed to last. Ready to reserve your lot and build your home dream? Contact Jeremy and Holly Goforth today and come home to Legacy. Jeremy Goforth can be contacted at 417-718-2051. Holly Goforth is at 417-718-1962. Come home to Legacy. They'll be our guest next week here on Millsap in the Morning. Okay, this is my favorite part of the show because you don't know what's coming.
I have no idea.
So we're going to do a little history of Lebanon. I'm going to throw you a couple of softball questions here.
I'm worried about that.
Now
I wasn't very good at softball.
You're good. Yeah. Well, you're going to kick it right through the uprights here. What is the original name of the city of Lebanon?
Wyoda. Yeah.
Lebanon is unique in many ways from most Missouri cities in that we do not have a town square. Why don't we have a square?
Well, because when it was founded, we had the old town over there. There actually is a square up there, but it's covered with some apartments. Or there was,
right?
And so when the railroad came in, they didn't want to give up their land, and so the railroad came in about a mile to the southwest, and they then eventually had to move town over there.
There you go. You're 2 for 2. You're 2 for 2, buddy. Visitors used to flock to Lebanon to partake in this, believing this would cure certain ailments. So popular, there was a huge hotel that was built near the side. What attracted people to Lebanon?
Well, the magnetic water.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
all right. Lebanon's nickname, coined in the 1940s and the 1950s, is?
Lebanon's nickname?
Yeah.
Why don't I know that?
Well, you know this. Just think about this. What's the arches say?
Oh, our town, your town.
Yeah,
okay,
our town, your town in the 1940s and 50s.
That's a motto. I would call it a motto.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
That's
okay. Millsap.
That's the difference in the generations there. So.
Thank you very much. I'm 0 for 1 now. All right, this is for that you get a harder question.
Oh no.
This playwright was born in Lebanon, Missouri, and wrote the play The 5th of July, which won a Tony Award, and Tally's Folly, which won a Pulitzer Prize. Both plays are based loosely on Lebanon. Who was that writer?
Harold Bell Wright, wasn't it?
Negative.
No.
Millsap now with one. No,
okay.
It's Lanford Wilson.
Wilson.
He was born in Lebanon in 1937, and the play The 5th of July, which won a Tony Award, I think in 1979, won the Tony Award, and it was loosely based on his coming back to Lebanon and his grandparents and stuff. So
okay, well, I'll have to look it up.
There you go.
I learned something today.
Now let's talk about
It's
Harold.
not a wasted day.
Yeah, there you go. Harold Bell Wright wrote this book while living in Lebanon. You know what that book is?
Why didn't you ask the other thing? Who wrote this book? I don't know. I don't know. Why can't I remember?
Oh,
The Calling of Dan Matthews.
it is The Calling of Dan Matthews.
Yes.
Which?
Ryan has one now.
Oh, you have the book. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, he has one. Ryan.
Oh, you've got Ryan
He's given
Shearer's
himself
got
1 point.
All right. And by the way, he later wrote the book Shepherd of the Hills, but Calling Down Matthews was first.
That's one of those things I wish. And maybe they did in high school. I wasn't very good at English, so. but maybe that why would that not be required reading and as a Yellow Jacket?
You know, it really should be. I never thought about that.
I know.
Yeah. And I wasn't very good in high school at anything. But anyway, a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Will you come back to the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a lot of fun.
This is great, and I certainly appreciate you and all you do for the community as well.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to all the things, especially all the stuff that's going to happen around the 250th anniversary. I think it's so great that the city's participating in that. There are banners around town.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. We got. Don't forget Diamond Rio this Saturday. That kicks it all off, and we've been working on this for about 2 years. The commission has now that been meeting and getting all this stuff together. So it's finally here, and so we're kind of getting a little nervous. You know how you get all this planning and everything. So we're hoping it goes off without hitch, and we're looking forward to it and really celebrating America's 250th birthday. That's amazing that we live in this country, and God bless the USA. I mean, it's a fantastic place to live. I've traveled the world, and it's always nice to come back to right here to Lebanon, and then I go to Missouri, and then I go to the United States. So
right.
yeah.
5,000 tickets available for that, and they'll be in the big arena at the Civic Center. That's on Saturday, and don't forget on July 3rd. We got 15,000 hot dogs, and if you're not going to eat yours, you let me know. Hey, Legacy Now, great sponsor of our show. They'll be here. Jeremy Goforth will be here. We need to make sure that Holly's invited as well, and to come and talk about housing in Lebanon and some of the construction that's going on and all kinds of things. We'll talk to Jeremy and maybe Holly Goforth next week. Don't forget to stay tuned to Lebanon Now and all the shows that they present. For Ryan Shearer, our producer, and we will see you next Wednesday. Hey, have a great Earth Day today, by the way, and we will talk to you later. I'm David Millsap. So long, everybody.